have observed, why do extremist messages are more juicy, more appealing to people than our messages? Which schools did they go that we didn't go? Who taught them that didn't teach us? Why are their messages more appealing? We have to change that. We have to find not just ourselves reacting to their message. We want to be ahead. We want to be proactive.
It was simulations. Can you imagine setting up a simulation of a terror attack in the middle of everything? It was different. It was a terror alert has just gone off. You're a journalist, you're going to the field, there's a news anchor in studio. How do you actually report in the thick of it? It was more practical. It was, nerve-breaking. It was there.
The impact is overwhelming, I'm telling you. For me, it is enough also that people now can openly discuss these things. When we began, do you know that people did not want to discuss this? Now, actually, they thought it's not a priority, let us not discuss this thing. But now, it's being discussed all over. You'll hear imams on the mimbar talking about jihad. What is the true meaning of jihad?
I don't think the center realizes how big they are. They play in the background too much. But I would want everybody to know there's a center, because now it's like a well-kept secret.
Heads of state from Somalia, Ethiopia, Djibouti and Kenya attended the Somali Frontline State Summit.
We start with the latest on the deepening crisis in Sudan, a crisis that now threatens to engulf the entire region.
Hello and welcome to Roundtable. Europe, it appears, wants to increase its presence in the Horn of Africa.
The terrorist who blew himself up before the attack on the Dusit D2 complex has been on the police list of the most wanted terror suspects since 2014.
For years, the countries of the Horn of Africa have struggled with the devastating effects of violence and extremism, innocent lives lost, communities torn apart, and development efforts thwarted by senseless acts of terror.
The fear victims to violence extremism.
But amidst this turmoil, a shining light has emerged. The IGAD Center for Excellence in Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism, a beacon of hope in the fight against terror.
So for us, that network of civil society is we are there to support you. When you have challenges, we are there to be with you, walk with you, and talk to governments. Use the good office of IGAD and the Executive Secretary to ensure your work is facilitated.
The fight against extremism is a daunting challenge, but the IGAD Center is rising to the occasion. With the support of its partners and stakeholders, the center is making a difference in the lives of countless people across the region.
I have been invited in different training sessions, both as a trainer and also as a trainee. What I've always noticed is that people want to impart knowledge. They want to tell you. I think it was different from the IGAD trainings, that it was, can we have a conversation? A candid conversation. The model of training was not the usual, PowerPoint. It was, can we listen from you? What has been your experience?
The center's work is grounded in research, analysis, and collaboration with key stakeholders, including civil society organizations, religious leaders, women, youth, journalists, and government officials.
First of all, for me, I think that was a very great idea, a very noble idea for IGAD to come up with such a center that would bring together experts and also other stakeholders in the field of preventing and countering violent extremism in this region.
We, the religious leaders from the IGAD region, want to tell the world that violent extremism and terrorism knows no religion.
And then having interacted with them, of course, I've seen the steps that the center has taken through the years that I've interacted with them. Up to now, I'm still interacting with them. And I think when you talk about the soft power approach, I think the center is doing very well in that area.
How can we prevent the youth, the young people, the women, because everybody's being recruited, and generally even the men from being recruited into violent extremism? And I think that is the work of religious leaders. And I think once we are trained that we can use the pulpit to send messages of peace, that is the best legacy that IGAD can leave, because they train us to package our messages in such a way that they have a wider reach within the Horn of Africa.
So you may want to show these young people good examples of young people within the community that have been beset by the same challenges like them, but have still, but they haven't wavered or they haven't ended up joining violent extremism.
Through various forums, I like the fact that the IGAD Center really brought together civil society actors around the region, not just in Uganda, often in conversation, but also at events with government actors. Some of these government actors, we had never met them physically, but they gave us an opportunity for us to network with them. We'd travel with them, on the same plane. We wait in the same lounges. So somehow conversations would come up, and I feel like that in a way helped reduce some of the biases that the government institutions have for us.
The IGAD Center of Excellence for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism, one of the very active organs for the IGAD organization. The issue of engagement with Sudanese people, Sudanese organizations, it started very long time ago. The IGAD Center organizing many programs, including the state and state actors, the religion integration, inter-religion dialogue, and youth consultations. So it was a very glad opportunity for Sudanese youth to be trained by the IGAD Center, an opportunity to network with other IGAD member state of countries' youth.
The center's impact has been felt not only in Djibouti, where it is based, but throughout the Horn of Africa region.
How can we make a video that tells of the challenges that youth go through, and not only the challenges, but how can they overcome those challenges?
Through its training programs and workshops, the center has built the capacity of government officials, law enforcement agencies, and civil society organizations to prevent and counter violent extremism.
There's a whole lot to the training on also how to disseminate the content that you get, how to create the content, how to know who is your ally, who is, it was a whole comprehensive. And now, then maybe the outcome had been content, and getting as many young people to participate in content creation and understanding the alternative. But now it's traveling. It's now going, bigger than we had even originally thought. So that's a good, progression that has come in a few years.
Government cannot address all the conditions conducive to terrorism alone. By capacitating civil society actors, the Center of Excellence contributed to the safety and security of Uganda, in that the civil society actors, as they implement their programs, they are lessening or reducing Uganda's risk to violent extremism and terrorism.
Le centre de l'IGAD en fait a pu instruire, informer, donner une plateforme pour les gens de la région pour pouvoir développer certains aspects, pour pouvoir échanger entre eux, pour pouvoir trouver des solutions entre eux. Et je suis encore épatée qu'aujourd'hui, à ma 4e ou 5e session que j'ai avec ce centre, que j'arrive encore à apprendre sur les développements de la paix à travers la région, à apprendre des jeunes qui viennent de la région au fur et à mesure. Et ce networking aide la jeunesse de la région vraiment à se développer et à maintenir quelque sorte une paix un peu durable.
But the fight against extremism is far from over. As new threats emerge, the center continues to adapt and evolve its strategies, always keeping its focus on the people it serves.
There are several studies that we do, but the most interesting one is that we do content analysis. We review how terrorism is reported by various media in the Horn of Africa. so that we identify what are the hits and what are the misses. Where are we succeeding and where are we failing? Where are we doing it right and where are we doing it wrong? And so when we notice the gaps, then we train journalists on what we can do to make sure that we hit more and we miss less.
How do we report, inform the public of what's going on, but not glorify terrorism and therefore not used as a direct conduit to pass on the messaging from the terrorists? I think for me that was very, very important.
The IGAD Center for Excellence in Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism is more than just a center. It is a symbol of hope, a catalyst for change, and a testament to the power of collaboration and dedication.